What's up, cyber world? Welcome to the Ash Said It Show. I'm your host, Ash Brown. I appreciate all of the love and the support. Over 1,800 episodes, 500,000 streams, and over 100,000 downloads worldwide. None of this is possible without you guys, so I thank you so very, very much. And today is a wonderful day. We are well into spring, my favorite month, the month of April. And today we've got a wonderful guest. Yes, you guys have seen his work all around the world. He's done so many different projects with National Geographics, and today he's coming with his latest project that I am so super excited to talk about: Octopus, Seahorses, and Jellyfish, the ultra talented David Liittschwager. Hi, David.
Hello. Nice to be with you today.
Thank you so much for joining us, David. Thank you so very much. David, your career spans back, and you could have taken all different angles, concentrating or focusing on different photography styles and different photography projects. What turned your focus really natural world versus like fashion?
Well, I was trained. The first job I had out of high school was photographing still lifes for. They weren't even still lifes. It was commercial advertising. It was retail advertising photography. Like, how do you photograph a chrome toaster? That's actually a really interesting technical exercise, and it was, I think, fantastic training. And then I worked for, a more, a higher end of photography, and more expensive advertising.
Gotcha.
Food and beverage advertising in San Francisco, and in the early '80s, that was where the most expensive food and beverage photography was being produced. And then I moved to New York City and ended up working for Richard Avedon, who was at times the most famous bath photographer that there was. And so that's how I was trained, as an apprentice.
Okay.
And I was very fortunate to be able to have access to, I followed the advice somebody gave me when I was very young: is find the best photography you can and make yourself useful. And then after I was doing that, after I did that, I wanted to take pictures of my own, and I was given this opportunity to collaborate with another photographer named Susan Middleton and the California Nature Conservancy, photograph endangered species, plants and animals, in an effort to communicate about the importance for habitat conservation. So that's, to me, that felt, that's just an extension of advertising. It's communication. It's saying, this is something you want to have with you in the world.
Right.
It's valuable. It's desirable. And, you want to keep it in the world. So that, and it sort of stuck. I didn't, that was, the beginning and the current phase of my life.
Cool. Well, I'm certainly glad that you picked it, because you picked out some very expressive, eloquent pictures of these natural creatures in their natural habitat. So next I want to...
I just have to correct you. They're not in their natural habitat. The way the white background is achieved is because they're in aquariums, and I borrow them from scientists. Sometimes I'm on a research vessel, or I'm at a field station, and I'm able to access these creatures because I'm eavesdropping on science.
Gotcha. That makes a lot more sense. I can definitely see that, because I was like, okay, how was he able to? And this project took over 12 years to complete?
Yep, 12 years, 135,000 exposures, more than I think it's 27 different places.
Wow.
Locations from Tasmania to Portugal to Japan. And a few of the specimens I photographed in my basement.
Oh, wow. And these are some amazing shots that you actually achieved. Why did you choose to concentrate on these animals, the octopus, the seahorse, and jellyfish?
I need to take pictures that the world has a use for,
Right.
so that I can make a living. And so there was a sort of magazine piece for National Geographic about each one of these. The seahorse one is actually in this month's print issue of National Geographic magazine. And they have, there's, the article is like 16 pages long or something like that.
Oh, wow.
But the seahorse section in this book is 75 pages long. The book is the long form. The magazine piece was the short form. The octopus was also a magazine and piece, and the jellyfish in that shorter form. But then I photographed other octopus and other jellyfish and other seahorses in connection with 4 other projects. Oh, wow. So I was able to sort of gather, 7 bodies of work and present it in one place.
Awesome. That's really awesome.
I mean, that's kind of why.
Yeah.
Because, it's bad to not share.
I, as well as the rest of the world, are certainly glad that you decided to share these amazing photographs. The process for setting up these shots, though, you're talking about you were in aquariums, you were at different locations, kind of invading their space, so to speak. How are you able to set up these shots?
I mean, it's extremely varied. Some of the octopus. Just turn this phone off. Sorry, that's a junk call on my cell phone. So it varies a lot.
Yeah.
One octopus I photographed in a parking lot because some scientists had temporarily collected a specimen called rock taco. It's in Hawaii. Taco being the Hawaiian, it's a Japanese word for octopus.
Oh, wow.
But this is an octopus that hunts above the waterline at night.
Oh, wow.
It climbs out of the water and goes hunting for crabs. And, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And so out of the back of the van in the middle of the night in Honolulu was one situation. Another situation was traveling to Japan. And there's this kind of fish tank or aquarium tank that can have a vertically circular flow. It's called a Kreisel tank. So it's a German word for gyro. So you have this current inside the aquarium tank that's traveling up on one side of the tank and down on the other. And jellyfish like to hang in the sort of wherever they want to be comfortable. Right. Slightly up, the direction's going up. Or they find a little spot right in the center where they like to hang out. Gotcha. And so I learned about the use of these tanks from jellyfish specialists. And there's the aquarium with the largest collection of jellyfishes that I know of is this place called the Camo Aquarium in Japan. And that is a fantastic place. The enthusiasm and vision of the former director that sort of took this little tiny municipal aquarium and made it, the premier collection of jellyfish visible to us, in an aquarium is just fantastic. And the current director is just so welcoming and so helpful.
Yes.
And then he presented me upon leaving with with a chrysal tank of his personal design.
Mm.
And so I've been using that ever since. It's fantastic. So that's a long, rambling way. It's always different, and it's always. I love the puzzle of just trying to figure out how to do it.
I understand that you photographed nearly 500 specimens while working on this project. What was the process like for you to actually sorting through and sifting through which images to use for the book?
Fortunately, I have a lot of help with that.
Okay.
There's, the editor for the magazine story.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm required to mark the ones that I think are worth looking at.
Right.
But then the individual photo editors at National Geographic magazine are really helpful.
Mm.
And my wife, Susie Rashkis, is more than helpful. I mean, it's like I sometimes I have 6 pictures I can't decide.
Oh.
I say, Susie, what do you think? And she just points to that one. And, okay, I'm good with that. She's a painter, so she's highly visual and can make a decision faster than I usually can. So it's really helpful.
Love that. Now, for people that want to get the book today, where do they need to go, David?
Not in your local bookstore. It might be very soon, or if you ask them to get it, I'm sure they will. It's readily available. And if you can do it online, just search the title, you'll be getting lots of choices.
Okay.
And I have a website.
Ooh.
Liittschwager.com that has some little, it's not real, it has some interesting little pictures on it.
Okay.
But then there's this other website that I set up called onecubicfoot.com.
Mm-hmm.
That is, it's a series of tutorials about how I did these biological surveys of actually literally 1 cubic foot in several different places in the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's just in the same way that I had the great pleasure of being able to stare at octopus, seahorse, and jellyfish. I got to stare at 1 cubic foot and figure out who really lives there, from the mites up to the squirrels. Biggest thing I photographed was a raccoon that didn't really fit inside the 1 cubic foot.
Oh wow! Yeah.
He moved it, so I know he was there.
Well, David, it's been a pleasure having you on the program today. Thank you so much for sharing just a little sneak peek into your insight. People can actually go online right now and check out the book, you guys. If you haven't already, I'm going to put the link in the bio for this episode. So be sure to check it out and get it for your friends, your families. You're not going to believe the images. Absolutely amazing. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for all of your love and support. Keeping in mind, anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do. You look them square in the face, you tell them, don't believe me. Just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. That's what we're doing this for, the history books. Social media is nice, but real life is so much better. Until next time, you guys.